Now we are starting with the topic, what about the pelvic girdle of Calotus versicolor? This is a pelvic girdle of Calotus versicolor. What does mean by a pelvic girdle? A pelvic girdle is a structure which is generally concerned with the supporting hind limb. Okay, in the forelimb we have seen that pectoral girdle is a structure which is concerned with the supporting forelimb. Here the hind limb is supported by pelvic girdle. And this pelvic, if we are analyzing the structural analysis, we can see this pelvic girdle consists of two compound bones. They are called ossa innominata. Ossa innominata is a structure you can see here and also here. So this ossa innominata is a triradiate bone. Triradiate means it's a fused bone consisting of three different bones. They are named ilium, ischium and pubis. Here this is the ilium and this is the ischium and this is the pubis. Here the same structures you can also see in this part O. So this three bones fuses together and forms a compound bone. This is called the ossa innominata. And laterally at the junction between this all these bones, you can see that there is a bud-like opening is present, which is called the acetabulum. That means in between these three bones you can see an opening that is called acetabulum, just like the glenoid cavity in pectoral girdle. This acetabulum is concerned with attaching the head of femur. Okay. As I told you, this pelvic girdle is concerned with the supporting the hind limb structure. So the first part of the hind limb is called the femur bone. This head of the femur bone is generally attached to this acetabulum. And then comes to the ilium bone. The ilium is generally extending forward and backward, and it generally articulating with the sacral vertebra. Sacral vertebra is a vertebra which is generally found on the sacral region. That is the region which is just above the caudal region. So this ilium, the ilium bone of this two distinct area moves backwardly, and it will be connected with the sacral vertebra of Calotus. Then comes the pubis. The pubis of these two sides generally meet together and forms a median strip of cartilage in between this pubis. This is called the pubic symphysis. Okay, the two pubis meet together and forms the pubic symphysis. And also the right as well as the left ischium united together and anteriorly it forms another structure that is called ischiatic symphysis. That is, they united together and forms a prominent that is called ischiatic symphysis. So you can see the pubic symphysis and also ischiatic symphysis. Pubic symphysis is a structure which is generally formed by the union of the pubis from the two sides, and ischiatic symphysis is a structure which is generally formed by the union of the right as well as the left ischiae. Okay, so that's all about the structural analysis of these three bones. In addition to this, there is another three more structure that is called epipubis. Epipubis is a calcified. Epipubis is not safe. Pubis is a calcified cartilage which is extending upward from the pubic symphysis. Pubic symphysis united together and forms and whenever they unite together there forms a cartilaginous, calcified cartilaginous structure that is called the epipubis. It is named as epipubis because it is generally formed just above the pubic symphysis. And also there is another structure that is called a hypoischium is found just below the ischiatic symphysis. So this structure epipubis is generally found just above the pubic symphysis, while the hypoischium is a structure which is generally found below the ischiatic symphysis. Okay, and in addition to this, there is another structure that is called obturator foramen. Obturator foramen is a white space which is found in between this ischium and pubis, and this is the ischium and this is the pubis. In between these two you can see another space or opening. This is called obturator foramen. Okay, then another structure is called the ligament. Ligament is a structure which is connecting the epipubis as well as the hypopubis, hypoischium, and also the two sides of the oporaptor foramen. These regions are generally connected together by means of this ligament. So that's all about the structural analysis of the pelvic girdle of Calotus versicolor. I hope you understood. If you have any doubt, please do in the comment section. Thank you.